What's up, everybody? Another episode of Smoking That Ish. Big shout out D-Game6923 on the YouTube and D-Game Studios Productions, editing, D-Games planning, and, D-Game, well, all of it. So shout out to D-Game. Check them out. Go see his podcast if you want to be, if you happen to be female watching the show and are not upset today. Go check out some of his episodes. He'll fix you on that. Shout out to Unity Road and the Coffee House for letting us do the interviews that we had on the last episode. And just heads up on the last episode, we had 2 different episodes come out. One is a shorter version, under an hour, that did not have the interviews, etc. on it. And the other one is full length. So make sure you check out the one with the interviews and stuff on it. What happened there was YouTube said it wasn't going to let us put them up because it was copywritten music on it. But apparently we are so small and insignificant that it was like, fuck it, you figure it out. So that's on there. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe. Tell a friend, get a dog, start them an account, get them on here. Shout out Black Hills Cultivation in Rapid City and Sioux Falls now, being run by the people from Fruits of Freya there in Sioux Falls. So still everything you need. Black Hills Cultivation for growing everything from cannabis to tomatoes, man. You go ahead, let them know what you're doing, and they'll let you know what you need. Shout out to Cloud9 Vape and Glass in Mitchell for being the only official sponsor of the show. The only people who have really kicked in a lot, and Superior Buds for being a big supporter, really, of the show. They've donated swag, etc. And every time I go in there, they seem to be watching the show. So that's also pretty huge. So shout out to them guys. Hopefully they get some Belushi's Farm in like everyone else has gotten to have and try out. Hopefully they get some in. They do have Pure Bliss halves and ounces in now, which is very nice that they have that. Today on the show, we'll be covering Eugene, Buddy. We got the LaMelo, and I couldn't have gotten a better sample, dude. It's one fat nug. It's really actually very gorgeous. Very pretty nug. Should be the finest representation of that you can possibly get. I should have, because having the Belushi's Lemon V on the top 10 and not doing the LaMelo from DNG is kind of sacrilegious. It's not really fair. So I got that coming. We'll talk more about that later. A little bit on Quest, some of his stuff available. His French toast is, let's see. Was the French toast available at the Tea Tree? No, the French toast is not available at the Tea Tree, but the Flapjacks is still available at the Tea Tree. The Blicky was available. I think I saw that at East River. So his Blicky is available there too. Pure Bliss Pre-Roll Kings, their collab with DNG should be coming out anytime. Keep an eye out for that. We're also doing Dakota Green's Thug Rose on the show. Very nice. The smell of that one is extremely on point. And Dakota Green also getting into the cart game. If you want to see our interview with Mango and Dakota Bryan, I'm just calling him Dakota Bryan. But if you want our interview with them, go to our Instagram page, Smoking That Ish on Instagram, and you can watch the whole half-hour interview on there. Definitely go check that out, and why not subscribe to our Instagram and stuff while you're there. Check it out, hit it up. Hoping to have Rare Earth on a upcoming show, or a representative of Rare Earth at the very least, because I have a lot of questions for them. Shout out From the Hills, Concentrate Killers, only guys doing moon rocks, also getting into the cart game and harvesting currently. DNS has also harvested some stuff. They got some Black Cherry coming soon, and they have a Thug Magic coming soon, which is their Ghost Magic OG, which just tested over 30%, crossed with their Thug Rose. So keep an eye out for that. That, I believe, right now, the only place I can guarantee that's available is Top Shelf Relief and Platt has that, because I think they only deal in DNS. So they have all your DNS needs are right there in Platt. You should go check them out.
Very nice people there. And today we have a guest. A lot of you might have heard that there was a private grower or somebody who had been raided, and everybody's heard the news. Everybody's talking about it. Everybody's got something to say. Well, I have the guy that I'm pretty damn sure they were trying to get. They didn't raid his residence, but they tried to say it was. We got Aaron here today. Aaron, the man, the one and only. Everybody's talking about you. How you doing, buddy?
Not too bad, not too bad. Most people probably don't even know that's my name. They call me the Cooper.
Yeah, they got the Cooper here. Actually, your initials would be ABC, wouldn't they?
Yes, they would.
Yeah, that's fucking crazy, dude. I noticed that today on the way here. Your fucking initials are ABC. That's fucking good shit. How are you, man? How's freedom? How's everything?
Not too bad. Not too
yes. We're not too sure what on the court case we're allowed to discuss like super freely, but I feel like this man here is on the right side. They seem to have thought that Aaron had an issue with hard drugs for a while, like I have, and like probably many of you have, because they don't like to talk about it, but meth is readily available pretty much everywhere in South Dakota. It has been for years. You can find meth real easy. I'm not going to tell you how or where to go because it's fucking disgusting. And if you're looking for it, you're watching the wrong show, Chief. But if you have an issue with it and you're trying to get off it, you're trying to get that monkey off your back, there's nobody better. Aaron, what is your website?
BennettProduction.com.
BennettProduction.com. You should definitely check it out. It's got links to pretty much every help center, every way to get off of drugs, and every kind of person you'd want to talk to really help you get off of hard drugs, opiates, meth, all that stuff. So also at the same time as he's fighting a case himself, still helping out anybody looking for help. Okay, how much can we talk about with this court case?
Hey, my lawyer probably gave you a different answer than me.
Yeah, he'd probably say nothing. Yeah, nothing at all.
Well, they told me a lot of things that I wasn't going to be able to do or wasn't going to be able to say, and I've said a lot of things I probably don't make people happy with, and I've talked about a lot of things that a lot of people aren't real glad I'm saying, but unfortunately, as you said, meth is readily available just about anywhere in South Dakota. I don't care if your town has 500 people or fucking 5 million. It's a bad drug. It's not even the drug that, unfortunately, when I was 14, I was introduced to. And that's not something that any 14-year-old kid, my daughter's 14, she just started driving. I couldn't imagine anyone even offering her that drug.
Like, oh, yeah.
It's
I was introduced to crank when I was 14.
That's what I would have called it. Bathtub crank. It came with little gray dots and pink dots in it.
Oh, mine was shitty yellow fucking trash shit.
Well, I mean, it's all trash, but unfortunately now it's trash with fentanyl.
Mine was trash.
That's
yeah. Now it's laced with shit that can kill you, like every fucking other thing is, dude. One fucking idiot makes the wrong measurement and fucking kills a handful of people, dude, trying to make a buck. Yeah, I don't see the point in any of that shit. I really don't. I mean, the money's good, but fucking get a job, dude. And if you're like me and can't get a job, I mean, fucking just deal with being broke, I guess. That's what I'm doing right now. I'm applying for disability over here because it's my only option, really. Where unless this made money, I mean, but you can't really turn in resumes to be a podcaster, dude. You can't. Like, I don't know. I don't know. I could, I suppose, apply for only jobs where I have complete control over every aspect of like me that gets released, to the public.
I don't even have complete control over my personality. So
exactly, but it gives me comfort knowing that if I were to freak out or have a panic attack or something like that, I could just delete it. I could just delete it and move on with the episode. There's no pressure there to have, if a breakdown happens like there is at a regular job. If I have a panic attack at a regular job, I mean, I'm embarrassing myself in public, first off, because I'm going to cry. And then secondly, I mean, I'm ruining all social relationships and all professional relationships there.
Yes and no. Then that's where
a lot of people aren't understanding.
No. Most people treat mental illness far different than the way they should. You're correct.
Yeah.
Mental illness should be treated the way any other injury would. If I broke my arm, you wouldn't assume that my arm is not broken. Just because my brain is broken does not mean
you wouldn't call me a pussy for walking around with a cast on for fucking 4 to 6 weeks.
No, it's a very different stigma that you see from one kind of a disability to another.
Yeah.
And quite frankly, it shouldn't even be my responsibility to go onto the internet and talk about my disability. That's nobody else's business but mine and my family's. But unfortunately, our local newspaper and other people involved have made my life a fucking spectacle.
Yeah.
And my life is my life. It's not a spectacle.
Well, they want to come out and tell everybody that you're a super bad guy because you had horrible drug addictions and shit in the past. And you've been labeled in both the social aspect of Mitchell and the public aspect. You've been labeled both ways as a horrible person. And even though you don't do that anymore and you're trying to change, there's some people that don't want to let the past go, mostly the police, that you would rather see you they would rather see you in prison for the things you've done in the past than see you get better and become a better person.
That's exactly, I mean, there's no better way to say it.
They missed their chance to put you away for a long time, and they're sad to see that you're not doing that stuff anymore. In hindsight, I should thank them because they gave me the drive that I haven't had in a long time. Yeah.
And
it gave you something to fight for, really. Like a reason, I
didn't want to be
before when they caught you. Fight all you want. You were fucking doing bad shit. They caught you. They got you.
I mean, the last time they arrested me, I was in my parents' driveway. I got arrested with every drug known to man. I did what I needed to do. I checked myself into rehab at Keystone, South Dakota. I went and did.
What's the facility in Keystone?
It's an inpatient or outpatient. They do both. I mean, they got.
Yeah, I'm
something for just about everything. You know what I mean? Whether it's drugs, whether it's drinking, there was a chick in there for huffing gas. I didn't know you could huff gas, but
I was in there with people. A kid was like, when he was 16, started making DMT in his garage when I was in Sioux Falls Behavioral Health.
What kind of fucking chem lab did he have?
He just fucking looked on the internet, learned how to make it, and started making it in his garage. And then all of a sudden, he found himself doing DMT. He was tripping on DMT for like 9 hours a day, just not touching the universe.
When I was 15,
he was living in a whole different place. And all his parents, if you don't check on him, he's not doing anything. It just looks like he's fucking like asleep, just out. But really, he's not even on the planet anymore, dude. He's gone.
I mean,
and that was, but I have no experience. Did you study? Because I ended up learning cognitive behavioral therapy in Sioux Falls. That's what really changed. That's what helped me change stuff. And I assume that when was this that you were there?
This would have been, I'm terrible with time. My wife would be the first to tell you.
Ish. We deal with ish on this show.
I'm trying to think. So I'm better with the arrest record. That would have been like 2018, 19. I've been clean. I've been sober for 3.5, 4 years.
Yeah. So it would have been like right around the same time as my stuff, maybe a year or two before when I went and did my stuff. So they had to be, because cognitive behavioral therapy is like the only thing that they teach now. And it's basically, it teaches you, you can't change, because a lot of people, they tell you to change your environment. You come out and you change all your friends, all your, family members that had any aspect in your drug addiction. You're supposed to get rid of fucking everybody. And a lot of people are unable to do that in a realistic fucking way. So cognitive behavioral therapy teaches you to see the world differently. You're not going to change how other people act, but you can perceive the way they act and the impact it has on you. You can perceive it differently, realize how some things are making you act, or you just perceive that the whole world is shit. And if you start to look at it different, all of a sudden your opinions on things change. Everything goes better. And it really helped me change. It wasn't the world that was against me. It was me perceiving that the whole world was against me. I'm not that important for the whole world to be trying to get me. You know, that's a pretty narcissistic view on the world.
As much as I agree with everything that people say about when it comes to drug addictions, for the most part, when it comes to getting people help, all that. I mean, you're never going to get somebody help that doesn't want it. Until you really have that fucking light bulb click in your brain. And unfortunately, it took me 26 goddamn years. And I watched a lot of people die. I watched a lot of people fucking OD. I watched a lot of people do a lot of things, go to a lot of places that I don't want to go to. And that's a lot of the reason that I tried to get away from that world. And that's the unrealistic fact of reality is it's fucking hard to get away from it. And you might not know it if you don't know it, but if you know it, you know it.
Been there, you know.
It's everywhere. It's easier to find meth than it is marijuana. And that's sad. Yeah. That's sad because you could smoke all the pot in the world and not die, but you take one hit from the wrong fucking crack pipe and you're going to tip over dead today.
When I was in Nebraska, there was a girl that was going to college up there at the community college in Norfolk. Shout out Northeastern Community College. Actually, a decent place if you want to, not fuck around and get an education. But a girl was up there and she went out partying and she met some guys and turns out they were making Drano meth. Ooh. And they gave her a bunch of that she did, and they found her like 2 days later walking out in the middle of nowhere naked, and she didn't know who the fuck she was, and she never recovered. She went to a facility to live out the rest of her life because she doesn't even know who she is anymore. And that was one time. A good kid just out drinking was here. This will keep you up to party more, and fucking gone, just toast. So, yeah, and I'm going to explain the gateway drug fucking theory real quick. Everybody who thinks that is a thing, the only reason that marijuana was in any way a gateway drug was that it was bought illegally. And so you had to go buy it from an illegal drug dealer type person. And in those situations and getting to know those kind of people, often other drugs come along, or people who do other drugs come along because they also want to get marijuana. So you would meet up with those people and end up socializing with those people. And that's how it became a gateway drug. It's fucking horse shit that marijuana makes you crave other drugs. That's the dumbest shit I've ever heard. If that was true, don't ever let your kid touch a prescription drug in their fucking life, especially an antipsychotic or some kind of antidepressant, because it's going to mess with their brain chemistry and fuck them up forever.
Sugar releases the exact same dopamines in your brain as cocaine, and you readily give that to your children on the daily. Yeah. My marijuana will not hurt you or your child. You do not need to worry about me or my marijuana because it's not around you or your child. I don't worry about you and your Xanax and your Zoloft and your prescription this and your
much
prescription
easier
that.
To open containers than marijuana is allowed to be sold in, by the way.
Yeah.
Much easier to fucking open.
Yeah, I can't even open half these packages. Dude, and I'm a 41-year-old adult.
These bags are half the time you cut the whole top off because the resealable part, you can't even fucking open it. It's a travesty, dude. It's really stupid that my kid could go pop a handful of hydros faster than he could get into a bag of vicious, dirty marijuana.
Well, and if you do your job correctly as a parent and you educate your
they
children,
wouldn't have access to it in the first place.
Well, and they should know about your medication. My children are taught that that's my medication. Mm-hmm. That's something that I have to take because that keeps me from being the person you don't want me to be.
Yeah.
And just like I would tell my kids, that's daddy's medication if I had hydrocodone or if I had Xanax or if I had any of the other hard narcotics that you will readily give me at any doctor all day long, because all I got to do is tell you my back hurts, my legs feel funny, or I fucking twitch when I talk, and I'll walk out of there with a fucking Happy Meal full of pills, and it's all right. My prescription's paid for by an insurance company, and nobody gives a damn because everybody's making money.
Exactly.
But
and that's what everybody wants, man.
And
that's what everybody wants.
The minute I tried to take back my power and say, I don't want to do that. I don't want to be a zombie. I don't want to walk around the world drooling and talking fucking slow. I mean, I like to talk fast. Everybody knows that.
I was a zombie when I was 14
and
lived as a zombie.
I don't want to be that person. The person, and not only do I not want to be that person, but what comes along with that person is a drug addict. Because when I take pills, I become a drug addict. I don't care what it is, where you made it, and how you're going to take it. If you can sniff it, snort it, or smoke it, I'd tried it, I'd done it, and I'll do it again. And that's why I can't.
Yes.
But you know what I don't have that problem with? Marijuana.
Exactly. Yeah, I'm also listed with my primary caretaker as a drug addict. I made her list me as an addict, so I can't get hydros and stuff like that because I don't want them.
Yeah, because
I like them a lot, and I don't need them.
Yeah, hell, I'll put them in my butt.
That's no joke. That's no joke. The last girl that I dated.
Oh shit.
The last girl that I dated before the girl that I'm with now. Well, the girl I dated in between, we were together and then apart and then together again. But the girl that I dated in between, she used to do that with meth.
Oh yeah, the old booty bump.
Yep, she used to booty bump.
The old suck and blow.
She couldn't do it the other way anymore. Yeah, she had too many issues. Yep, so she fucking started doing it that way. It's fucking ridiculous the lengths people will go to. You don't understand being a drug addict unless you've been a drug addict, because no rational person would do this type of shit. No rational person would go to these lengths for a fucking buzz, but you don't understand being a fucking drug addict. You don't understand a feeling where you would gladly lose everything to just be high.
I got a story for that. So everybody in my town knows me, and the reason they know me is because I was an amazing person that ran an awesome fucking store called GameStop for a long time, and I was really good at it. Chief of police would bring his kids in there. Everybody brought their kids in there.
I went in there quite a few times, bought games and shit.
It was a great time, wasn't it? Awesome experience.
Super professional. Yeah. My buddy Matt worked there.
Yep.
For a while, I grew up with Matt.
The old Mason.
Mason.
Yeah, he's a good guy.
He was a friend of mine when I was a little kid.
Dude, me and Matt Matt's my homie.
We went through fucking highs and lows, but that was when we were kids. We didn't really hang out after I was like 12 when I moved away. But he was a big part of fucking growing up as a kid.
That's crazy. See, like that's the whole universe. Just like you never know. You never it's wild.
Fuck yeah, dude. He's a good dude. Solid guy.
I had a great job, a job I loved, a job that I was good at, a job that nobody ever thought that I would just one day wake up and go, nah, fuck it.
Yeah.
And one day I did, because like you said, you don't do rational things on drugs.
No.
And one day, Peter needed to pay Paul. Paul was short for Peter. Some things happened. I did 10 milligram hydrocorones and fucking a half a gram of meth that morning. And then I proceeded to put a bunch of money in a bag, put it in the ceiling, and call in a robbery. Allegedly.
I remember hearing about that.
Allegedly.
I remember hearing people talk about that.
Was it a smart fucking thing to know, dude? No.
One fucking fly in our god. That's how cheap our fucking studio is. We got flies in this bitch, dude. That's how cheap our shit is. We got fucking flies flying around here. Well, man, can't you get like some kind of fucking? I know you got a lady friend or something that can fucking swat flies, motherfucker.
Man, we're gonna pay you 12 cents an hour to swat these flies. Can I smoke in here?
No, we can't smoke at all in here.
Okay, I wondered.
Otherwise, I would be fucking smoking in here constantly. No, that was our first time when I showed up here. I totally thought we were gonna be able to smoke in here and everything, and it was just shut down. And I literally had like 20 seconds of like, it's all over. Like fucking in my head, I was like, it's all over. Whole show's ruined.
I have children.
Yeah, fucking he has children and other there's other. He records his show in here too, and it has nothing to do with weed most of the time. So he shouldn't have to deal with that. Also,
I don't know. It might have something to do with what you guys were talking about. Something about putting some up somebody's butt.
Yeah, eventually people start putting things in butts.
Yeah,
it gets out of control real quick, dude. You got to be careful with drugs. Not weed, but drugs.
Yeah, weed's not a drug. Weed's medicine.
Yeah, weed's medicine. You know that hemp and weed and cannabis and shit has been harvested for like 12,000 years.
Did you know that in 1914 the $10 bill was printed on hemp paper or hemp fabric, and on the back of it is actually a hemp farm that was like shown to grow
filthy drugs.
Yep, 1914. So 100 years ago, my pot was money, but now my money's pot, but I can't have my money. It's getting confusing these days.
Yeah.
I really don't know what's going on.
Really, you just got to pay the government.
Well,
whatever you do,
aliens are real. We're not sure if dinosaurs are.
Yeah, how is that just blown over? The government goes, yeah, we don't know what the fuck that shit is either. But we haven't ever really known what it is. But, you know, your guess is as good as ours. Anyways, weather tomorrow is going to be 88 degrees. And and nobody cares.
But we still don't know who made the pyramids.
No, I have no idea. I know nothing. My personal belief is that society was advanced before.
Oh, I agree.
And fucking like 12,000 years ago, there was the Great
Reset.
Yep. And shit happened, and because there's too many records of things that we can't build today and shit like that. So it would have to be like a different technological path than the one that we took. You know, they took a different technological path that we don't fucking know about and we don't understand. Maybe to do with vibrations and frequencies or something. It's shit more complex than I can, than I can even like comprehend. But it's what I feel most comfortable with believing, because the way they try to explain shit, and then you find shit that's older than when people started, and then you're just like, oh, well, it started then. That's when it started. Like the inability of the scientific community to go, I don't fucking know, man, is ridiculous. Like, just say you don't know. Nobody has to know everything. There's a whole bunch of shit out there where we're like, I don't know.
I'm just supposed to accept that we're all just vibrating along, and that if I could figure out how to vibrate at the same speed as this couch, I'd just fall right through it.
Yeah.
And
if I could figure out the vibrational speed of the wall, I'd be able to vibrate my hand at that speed and pass it through the wall and then pull it back out, because the molecules in my hand and the molecules in the wall are vibrating at the same frequency.
And that's not talking crazy. You're talking real science.
That's science. We just don't know how to do that.
Yeah. Well, we don't.
No.
I'm sure somebody does.
Could have been. It's scientifically possible. We just don't know how. So that, like, there's so many possibilities from before and stuff. And then everybody, the real fucking crazy people, want to go, fucking Jesus and God made everything 2,000 years ago. Dinosaurs aren't real. Everything is a lie.
There's 5,500 different religions, but I'm supposed to believe everybody's God is the right one.
Everybody's got the one.
Yep.
Everybody's got the one true.
I don't give a damn what you believe. Just keep it over there.
I really like Muslim and Judaism, because they focus more on like a oneness amongst everything.
I've studied them all.
Buddhism, sure. But everybody's immediate comment on that is, how can you take fucking advice on self-control from this fucking giant fat man? How is a giant fat guy going to teach you about self-control? And that also has to do with becoming enlightened, which I am fucking not. 100% not enlightened at all.
Show him your Buddha.
I've seen this stuff. No, fuck no. People got to pay for that. If we had a Patreon, maybe I'd do a fucking episode with no shirt on, but you ain't getting that for free. I don't even think our cameras have the fucking capability to handle that much bright white shining at the
in 4K.
Yeah,
they're only 4K,
dude.
We ain't breaking 8K yet.
I don't even know what the fuck that is.
I don't either. I don't know. That's like, I got ADHD, but I don't have it. I'm still able.
Same way Nintendo worked, right? It goes 8 gigs, then it goes 16, then it goes fucking 32, then it goes to the N64, and then it goes, and eventually we'll be seeing things as clearly as we're seeing things now. Oh wait, we're already there. What is there to work for? You can see things as good as you can see. How are you going to go better than you can see?
I agree.
It looks better than it looks with your eyes.
Your eye can only see so much.
Shit.
That's
a whole group of technology I don't want to be any part of. Man, we're starting to talk fucking weird because we're not high enough. So I'm going to, Eugene, Yeah, I know.
I love you, Gene. I just have to say,
yeah,
I'm off camera, but I love you, Gene.
He's a
shout out to that dude. I fucking love that dude.
D&G Eugene would be considered the OG for the show. Our first interview, first person who really showed us fucking any kind of love like that. So to have Lemon V on the show from Belushi, Belushi Farms. Bravo. I am super excited to get my hands on more of that, or any other strain that you're going to graciously give to South Dakota. And I can kiss Belushi's ass all I want, because that's where my ambition to do this show came from. I watched his show and saw how much more there was to growing marijuana than just fucking, you gotta fucking play, reggae music for the plant to make it grow right. There's so much more to it. And
it does help, though.
Yeah. But I mean, if a plant is a living thing, I would imagine it would be based plant by plant. They would all have to have their own musical preference.
I was kind of torn because I read a study.
Perhaps strain by strain when it comes to marijuana. Different strains will perhaps flourish to different music. I mean, all of it's possible. I don't know enough to know how much of an effect that has, because I like science.
I'm just not good at it.
Am I a scientist? No.
No.
But back to the LaMelo, dude, I got it. Eugene, I got the LaMelo. I got one. The Tea Tree, shout out Tea Tree there in South Dakota for having good prices so close to Sioux Falls, man. Thanks to you guys. And Eugene, I got one solid fat nug of LaMelo, dude. And I think we are going to go try that out because it's an 18.5%, so it's in that nice sweet spot to be an all-day smoke, which I know THC doesn't matter as much as it used to. It's going to become all about the terps, but this also has lemon terps, which tend to be more uplifting and more, get out there and do something kind of stuff. But I'm pretty sure it's a hybrid, like everything fucking is now.
Isn't everything a hybrid anymore?
There's you go to the store and there's 3 indicas.
If you can find me a real
hybrids,
a real indica strain and a real sativa strain.
They never got a pure sativa sample, so they don't even know what a pure sativa strain is.
You'd have to have a seed from the 60s. You know what I mean? And then the odds of that are. I said I wish I had a piece of old brickweed from back in the day I could send off, get tested. Just to see what we were rocking with back in the old 90s. You know what I mean?
Yeah, well,
was it 2%?
That's the thing Belushi did. He traveled to South America and hunted down certain strains to be a part of his company to get the okay from Dan Aykroyd. And I know part of that is TV ploy and storyline and shit like that, but they ran those strains and he,
I was so mad. I wanted to go meet him, but I couldn't leave the county, so.
Yeah, I wanted to go meet him too, but if I went to meet him when he was in South Dakota, I would have tried to interview him. And I don't know why, but I felt like that would make me a douchebag. If the first time I went to meet the guy, I tried to interview him for the show he inspired. Just lay that all on him all at once and then fucking, cameras on, be like, fucking, so are you going to do it or not? Just put him on the spot. I couldn't do it. So I did not go to meet him, but I appreciate him coming through and dropping off that Lemon V, dude.
Like he's never ever going to see this show. But if he is see this show, you have a invitation at any time for anything.
Anytime. So my big thing, if I went to go see him, I wouldn't have been able to not ask him to do the intro for the show. I would have made him do something like they do on one of my other favorite shows, like Time Suck. He had Michael motherfucking McDonald do the intro for his show where he goes, I'm Michael McDonald and you're listening to Time Suck. And I would have had the same thing, only for smoking that ish, but from Belushi, because it would have to be Belushi. There's nobody, he inspired the show, so it couldn't fucking be anybody else. Dan Aykroyd, also Blues Brother, huge fan, but it wouldn't work. It wouldn't work. Has to be him if ever there is a spoken intro for the show. It has to be that guy. But
so you dish Dan Aykroyd is what you're saying. I mean, right away, really? Why?
No, love Dan Aykroyd, but
but he's not as good as. Oh,
not for the show.
No,
he didn't inspire the show. Nope, he didn't inspire the show. I love him, to death, but I don't fucking know the guy. But I mean, I love his work. I love his. I like his integrity when it comes to his products. His Clear Skull vodka or whatever it is, Crystal Skull vodka. Sorry, is incredible. He filters that shit through diamonds, dude. That's some high grade vodka right there. And he puts that same kind of stuff because he had to approve the Blues Brothers label being used by Belushi, because it's technically the Blues Brothers label is owned by Aykroyd and the Belushi widow from his brother. So he doesn't really get to say whether or not he got to use the label. That's why he didn't even have to really go get these strains. He just had to show that he was passionate enough to go out there and try and find these strains. And then he had to bring something back, and he had to, show him a smokable product that was able to be represented by the name, and then he let him use it. So while he is higher up in the Blues Brothers rankings and all that stuff, I'm not interested in labeling or rights or anything like that. The only reason Belushi would be better is because Belushi is the one who inspired the show. So it would have to be him. It can't be anybody else. Dan Aykroyd or any other great figure wouldn't work. It would have to be Belushi. And someday I'll meet him, dude. Someday I'll meet him, and hopefully... And fucking dream come true would be to go visit the farm. If I could go to Oregon and visit Belushi's farm,
that'd be awesome.
That'd be the absolute pinnacle of this show and my life as a marijuana smoker / I suppose you could say kind of advocate. I do advocate for it now, publicly. I've always advocated for it privately, but so I guess advocate. But that would be the peak of my career / life in this field.
All right, I just wanted to narrow it down. Blues Brothers is cool, but cool. Ghostbusters wasn't good enough. So anyway, let's just kind of, all right, hey, just emphasizing your opinion there.
Bill fucking Murray would be a great person to meet.
That dude's awesome.
Flat out, to meet and have a conversation with would be a great person to meet. But also, couldn't do the intro for the show. Not because I'm a douchebag, which I am. Don't get me wrong. I am. I'm not. So
you're saying you are, but you're not. So which is? I'm in
recovery.
What happens? You tried being a douchebag once.
Oh, no, I was a douchebag for years.
Oh, I tried to be that way once.
Yeah, I was completely inconsiderate of other people and how they felt and anything that happened to them. Huh. And it's not a fun way to be.
Fucking weird.
Oh, shit. Hey. Fucking Greg, I think yeah. Holy shit. Somebody from a potential guest on the show coming up on a potential future show. Live. Yes. You're seeing it now.
Yeah, live.
Wednesday, only a few days after the Sunday when it happens.
Secret special guest.
I'll probably announce it on the Instagram, which has that great interview from Dakota Green. If you haven't seen that interview, you're missing out. We had some fun times with that interview. First time we ever did an Instagram live. Ever.
Did you explain to these people yet that there is like 47% that are unsubscribed that watch this?
Oh, yeah.
What's with that?
I did mention the like, subscribe, share at the beginning. But yeah, for the people watching, I know sometimes it's a pain in the ass to sign into YouTube. You got to do the thing, go on your phone and do the thing. Fuck it, just do it once. And then you can even, if it fucks up, like your view history and what you like to watch, sign in, subscribe to the show, and then you can sign back out. Go right back to what you had. And now you have two viewing things. If you get tired of watching the same old shit on YouTube, boom, you sign in, and now you can make a whole new list of different stuff you want to watch on YouTube.
I figure we just throw that in there because we're talking about douchebags and stuff like that. Come on, don't be. I can understand like 15, 20%.
Mine was laziness. I just don't want to fucking sign in and change everything that I'm watching. I'm in a good place,
If I gotta sign,
Fly,
why you gotta be
Fly? You didn't. Nobody invited you to be on the show. I don't want to hear your opinions. Just get off my microphone. Nobody else wants to hear you either. You go over in the fucking corner and talk your shit because I don't want to fucking hear it. And you're not. If you talk in this microphone, we're gonna fucking edit it out. I don't want to hear none of that shit. Fucking protesting.
We gotta have a conspiracy theory show.
I would come on that one too.
Yeah, I would obsess over it. Yeah. I used to be so into conspiracy MGK or the M.
It's always a conspiracy
MK Ultra,
theory.
not MGK Ultra. That's what he's doing with his career right now.
All right, yeah, everybody. Hey, you guys want to see something like that where we do a
let us know. You want to see us talk about conspiracy theories? Man. Yeah. Oh well, most people,
I mean about anything.
Most people don't watch this far into the episode. You guys would like to watch 10 minutes anyways. So
no, just imagine. Put it this way. Just think about it. All right, we'll get it all set up. We'll do maybe a live stream, or we'll just maybe.
Live streams are always possible because we do have bars that we could live stream from.
Yeah.
You know, there are places we could live stream from doing conspiracy shows or any number of other things. We're down to like host events and stuff too. If you got a comedy club, I know there's comedy clubs. There's got to be one in Sioux Falls, right? Got to be. We'd love to host an event there.
Yeah, anything. You're not might not be funny, but you're funny to look at.
Yeah, so. I mean, I'm not funny, but I'm easily roastable. So any comic, if you got some beginner's night or something, they could just roast the shit out of me. I'm down. I'm totally down.
We could do it.
I haven't had self-esteem since I was a fucking small child anyways.
We'll get, conspiracy. We'll
it
depends on if people, what they say.
It's surprising that I didn't go into stand-up comedy because if you look at me on paper, I'm a comedian. I mean, there's early and steady trauma through most of my developing years, and it was like fucking seasoned in there like a nice steak. It's really in there, man. So I can't believe that I didn't go that path, really.
Well, yeah, we'll try to set something like that. We'll see what the comments. Everybody that wants it, throw a comment.
Yeah,
and we get enough comments
to see me act awkward in public. Go ahead, hit it up.
Well, if that or throw in for the conspiracy series. I mean, just imagine. People like chilling at night.
Yeah, and then
getting baked and listening to something like aliens and all the crazy Illuminati bullshit.
The conspiracy theories too. You guys can pick what you want to hear about.
Oh, hell yeah!
We'd be down to do that and just focus on conspiracy theories. We'd have to start a whole new thing and but I like I just told all of you, am applying for disability. So
mental.
I have hardcore mental. It's not physical by any means. I'm
can't see that shit.
I feel physically fit enough to work. I just don't have the mental capacity to do any kind of job that I can conceive. I can't. I mean, where are you going to work where it's like, yeah, no, I'm good. The only problem is like I might hit somebody if they come up to me at the wrong time or say the wrong thing.
Well, I might give them a hand job and stuff. You don't want that stuff.
Yeah.
What did I say?
What if I don't get the $10? Because
$20
going
$20
down.
bucks.
$20 is $20. Hey, my daughter
15 bags of chips is 15 bags of chips. You know what I'm saying?
My daughter ate a spoonful of wasabi over the $20 is $20 theory and fucking made $20. So I feel like that is a tried and true theory.
That's got to have been around for a long time too, because when I was 15 I lost a bet playing NFL fucking Blitz on the Sega Saturn, and I had to eat fucking like 87 grams of salt. Thought I was gonna die that day.
Yeah, that's really bad.
Yeah. Unfortunately, don't ask her in 10 years, so just we'll leave that alone.
Yeah.
What have you been doing? Have you ever did that 20? She'd be like, nah, I never made $20.
No, that's not bad. That's stuff she can talk about. None of my daughters have ever been on a pole, so that's also another
it's always a
thing
plus
that I pride myself on.
I do support single mothers, and everybody needs a job. Some girls got to do what they got to do. You know what I'm saying?
He supports single moms too.
Oh well, I got a good friend that has put a few of them through college, and I hope those little girls' mommies earned every penny they got, because they should be fucking surgeons. But whatever.
I have no opinion. I
have lots of opinions.
I am a happily taken man.
Well, me too.
Yeah, so fucking I don't care what single people do anymore.
I don't care what anybody does.
Shit. They fucking annoy me with their happiness now.
Should we go smoke some marijuana?
We're gonna smoke this LaMelo, dude, and I'm gonna give an honest to goodness review of this LaMelo coming up in like a blimp.
All right, we're back on. But we were just reminiscing a little bit about great times.
Yeah, childhood fucking
trauma.
Yeah, childhood trauma, the good old days.
I carry it well.
The LaMelo, I don't know where to rank it, man, because I feel like it's a strong 9. Like right on there, the Lemon OG Do-Si-Do, I feel like it's a little bit better than that. We got Dakota Cookies in there too, which I really like. It's a nice, good strain, but shit, I'm having a hard time. I don't feel like Eugene, you're gonna fucking hate my guts, dude. But I have to be honest, I have to tell the truth. I feel like it's not as good as the Lemon V from Belushi Farms.
Blasphemy.
But at the same fucking time, we're talking about a company that has mass amounts of money behind it and has been operating for years in Oregon. So, like, these are people who have had just more time to fine tune it. And it's not that I don't think you guys can get to that level either. You talk about, like, you were saying the thing on Instagram about how the OG, the original, like, LaMelo plant is no more now. Like, it's getting chopped down and you're going with like 4 clones or something like that. But at the same time, I feel like you as a grower are also learning shit. Like, you're still learning more fine tuning and things like that. So I don't feel like it's a loss, really. I feel like the LaMelo is going to continue to get better, which is basically what it's been doing. I feel like it's just going to keep getting better.
The spotlight's on you.
Tech problems.
I don't smoke.
Yeah, he doesn't smoke. So
Eugene, I'm on your side, man. Eugene's my man. I'm on his side. I mean, whatever. I mean,
it was a nice mellow smoke. It's
a beautiful fucking sunrise smoke, dude.
It would be good with a cup of coffee. I probably agree.
Cup of coffee in the morning. It's an uplifting, really good. Go get 'em high. The only the one place you really lost to the Lemon V was on initial smell out of the bag, which I know is a stupid thing to even compare because both have an incredible smell, but Belushi Farms punches harder. And then with the Belushi Farms stuff, I actually found myself craving it. Like, shit, I got to get some more of that. And if I had had this LaMelo before that, this may have done the same thing. So it's hard to rank this, but I feel like it would rank below the Belushi Farms one. But I feel like it's above the Lemon OG Do-Si-Do. And as far as Dakota Cookies, shit, dude. I feel like, excuse me, I haven't even eaten today. That's fucking pill burps, dude. Woo! Heart medication.
Food probably would be something we need later at some point.
I feel like it is better than Dakota Cookies. So I'm gonna give it. I'm gonna rank it right in there. Dakota Cookies is currently at a 9.25, so it's gonna have to fall to a 9, which is essentially gonna fall the rest of the list. But that's going to put this LaMelo at 4th place, which with the... Dude, listen. First place is Strawberry Twizzlers from Rare Earth, which everybody love them or hate them. I don't know anybody that doesn't like them. But
I don't think I've even smoked any Rare Earth yet.
Oh, you are fucking missing out. I don't think they put out a bad bud.
They've got it up at Superior. I just haven't picked that one up yet. They just got it in, I think.
Yeah, they've had it in for a little bit more than a week. You should definitely get that Strawberry Twizzlers. Even other growers and cultivators think that that's delicious. And it's the only one that has gotten a perfect 10 rating on the show.
Nice.
Because it smells just like Strawberry Twizzlers and it fucking tastes like Strawberry Twizzlers.
It's crazy. I never knew I'd grow up and be able to smoke medication that tasted like candy.
I didn't know I'd ever grow up and be able to smoke cannabis
and be on a show
and not be arrested for it or feel like an absolute criminal piece of shit.
I mean, I still am in that situation, but we're working
well,
on that.
But that's fucking that's simple court case stuff. And I could see if I was looking at that from the police, from a policeman's perspective. Okay, you were arrested how many times? Okay, is it? Yeah. See, you have trouble coming up with the number.
Yeah, when the number's hard to say.
So you were arrested a bunch. So you have like a career, and it was in the general same area, right?
I was a drug addict.
Yeah, but it was in the same general area.
Oh yeah, it was always in my hometown.
Yeah. So these cops know you, and they
rose the ranks as I fell them.
Yeah, they came up arresting your ass.
Yeah, these guys got promotions off me.
Well, some of them, yeah. I mean, fucking, that's a softball pitch right there.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
See your ass driving in a fucking car. Fuck did you do to
fucking lowrider Cadillac?
Fuck did you do to afford a car? Exactly. But seeing it from their angle, I can see how they would still perceive you as same old shit. He's got to be up to something because you quit doing drugs. Yeah, you get sober, and they're thinking, good story. Yeah, cool story,
and
bro.
I'm a stay-at-home dad,
but then you start this. And they're going to do it like this. I'm going to do it as if I was them. You start this construction company so you can get your hand on all these supplies to start your own drug factory and start selling drugs. And you're going to try and outsmart them with this whole I got sober smoking marijuana story. So coming from their angle, I can see them. I don't see them as being complete fucking dicks on this. I see them as using a tried and true tactic in the past. Probably. They probably have had examples of people who have fed them lines of shit like I'm sober now and then, tries to be scamming and scheming because shitty people have tried every shitty thing out there.
Oh, you're 100% correct.
Yeah, so I see how they could possibly perceive this, but to go in what I would call unprepared and without proper research or proper to go in, I feel like they put the fucking carriage before the horse on this one. They went in, this is personal opinion, so eat my fucking nuts if you want to try and sue me for the fucking nothing I have. I feel like they went in with the intention of arresting you and charging you with serious offenses. And they were going in not because they had the evidence, but because something had to fucking be there. There's no way they're not going to find some dope or some fucking little bit of meth residue or fucking, there's no way they're not going to find something because it's fucking you.
And all they found was marijuana.
Exactly. So they went.
Well, technically, not even that.
They went hard with a tactic that I would say would normally work, and it failed. And it all has to do with police have to rethink the way that they police.
I don't hate all cops. There's not. I'm the last guy to say all cops are bad.
Yeah, there's no hatred towards police at all on this. This was a mistake that needs to be rectified and needs to be made right 100%. They definitely fucked up, and I feel like they were in the wrong and potentially violated your rights, just not only as a citizen, but as a medical marijuana smoker or someone who, has a license. It's to come after you, even after I feel like knew they didn't really have anything.
Yeah, but we're 190 days into this.
Yeah, to still pursue it because everyone heard about him getting raided. Don't act like you didn't. If you're in the marijuana industry, alarms went off throughout the industry when this happened because if this is like a turning point. If he didn't technically do anything wrong and still receives charges and still, receives a sentence of any kind, really, at this point, it would be detrimental to all the work that we've done for medical marijuana and marijuana rights because you didn't violate any laws when it came to marijuana. It was currently, as I understand it, it was during a time when you were unable to get a medical license, or at least at the very least your friend that's just it. It wasn't even your residence that was raided by police. The place belonged to somebody else. And they raided it, and they're trying to say that it's your place on the basis of a fucking trophy.
I was arrested 17 days later on an indictment. I walked outside to 2 Mitchell police detectives with marijuana in my pocket. They said, "Are you going to turn yourself in?" I said, "Sure. What do I do with the marijuana in my pocket?" They said, "What?" I said, "What do I do with the marijuana in my pocket?" And I walked up, left my marijuana right next to my garage, told my wife, "Make sure you take that inside." And then they handcuffed me, drove me to jail, and then put me on unprescribed medication that made me have a schizophrenic outbreak. And
so all in all, everything went well.
Yeah.
Okay. It's nice to see that there was no complications or nothing went wrong for you.
Yeah, no, Lyrica is a terrible fucking drug. Don't take it.
I mean, the thing is, with as having experienced multiple antidepressants and shit like that, it's there isn't a fucking cure all. There isn't a this one works the best. It has a lot to do with your genetics and family history and shit. What they usually find is what works for one family member tends to work for other family members, just because, your brain function, I guess, tends to be on the same somehow in that regard. So, like, I've heard that, but at the same time, giving somebody something they've never had.
The worst part was I told them I'd had it. I told them I was.
You had it in the past?
Yeah, I told them I was a recovered drug addict, that I had been clean and sober for 3.5 years.
Did you abuse Lyrica in the past?
Yes.
Oh, Jesus, fuck.
Yeah. So
you've already fucked up receptors for that drug in your fucking brain.
And I told them that in the when I was incarcerated, and yet the doctor there still put me on a medication that if you, any
just for example, for people who don't get it, like, I abused Benadryl when I was younger, and now if I take a Benadryl, since I have fucking fucked up receptors in my brain, if I take a Benadryl, it'll fuck me up for days.
Yep.
One Benadryl. One that, most people are like, I'm itchy. Take a Benadryl. I take one, I can't get out of bed for 2 days.
Lyrica also breaks your blood-brain barrier, which is very rare with drugs.
Which is super safe,
yeah,
right?
Yeah, exactly.
Blood-brain barrier is not important, correct?
No, it's just another part of the body we don't use it very often.
Okay, if you get blood in your brain, don't you die? Isn't that an aneurysm?
Well, no, there's blood up there, but it's
there's blood like in there, but I'm saying like just free flowing.
No, it's not free flowing. No.
So what would the loss of this barrier do then?
Well, you're
obviously talking to a complete moron.
The blood-brain barrier is if you take a drug and it gets into your blood. If I'm correct, I'm no fucking scientist and I'm no doctor. That's why I go see them and they tell me these things.
Yeah.
And I was told this by my doctor that it crosses the blood-brain barrier. From what I understand, that means that when you take it, it goes from the blood into your brain tissue.
Oh shit!
It fuck you up real quick, real fast, and real good. And if you're not supposed to take it, it does.
Like cocaine do the same shit?
I believe cocaine breaks the blood-brain barrier.
Yeah. Okay. So you know how you fucking snort cocaine, it just punches you in the dick.
Yeah.
So this is the same thing, but in a
if you don't need and if you don't need it, it'll fuck you all kinds of ways. If you need it, it'll fix you good. It's made for neuropathy and nerve pain. Is what they prescribe. Is what the FDA, and you know how good those guys are.
So is it similar to like lithium in any way?
Similar.
I know some people who were like violent psychotics who took lithium and it calmed them down, and I knew other people who were just depressed, took lithium, and it made them a fucking zombie.
When I was 14 years old, we bought a 500 bag of acid on Smarties. Then we went to a friend of ours' house. She said, "Hey, my mom's got this stuff in the fridge. You guys want it?" And we thought it was booze. It turns out it was liquid lithium. And so we were taking LSD with liquid lithium.
At 15?
At 15, 16 years old.
Undeveloped brain.
Yeah.
Adding in just dip it in chemicals.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Somebody did.
Hey, you know why that kind of stuff happens? Because there was no you weren't allowed to even talk about it. Back in the day, we found out everything we knew about drugs by doing them. We had no fucking really. Is there anybody you really trust to tell you what a drug does, and then you do it yourself, and you're like, he didn't really explain it right. So then everybody pulls out a drug, and you're like, well, what does that do?
Dare was very counterintuitive because when the gentleman walked into 5th grade class and opened up that little case from Dare and it said Dare, fucking, you're like, oh, what are we going to learn about today? What's the dog going to teach us? And they opened it up and showed you all those sweet looking drugs, that crack cocaine, that LSD.
Things we never would have thought about or looked for or ever in our lives. I, by the way, in fucking 3rd grade, won the Dare competition
contest. Oh, the
essay, which I wrote the morning of the Dare essay when you turn them in. I wrote it that morning in the 20 minutes while the officer talked in front of the class, and I got to read mine in front of the whole school because it was written so well. I was the only kid in my class that smoked cigarettes. Only one. And it let me know how awesome marijuana was and cocaine. I couldn't wait to try some cocaine.
Oh,
dude.
They had a guy come in and tell us a story about taking LSD and how he climbed on these mountains of yarn and he saw dinosaurs. And I don't know what fucking LSD you've ever taken, but I ain't never seen no fucking dinosaur.
And you're fucking taking a high dose, my friend.
Oh my God, were you Albert Hoffman?
Yeah,
do your research.
I mean, you're really, really lifting off, dude. That's at least fucking 2 hits deep to have like a fucking out of body.
The second
you're
time
not on the same planet anymore.
So I believe, if I'm correct, federally after 7 hits of LSD, you're technically considered mentally insane.
Legally insane, yeah.
I've taken over 1,000.
Yeah.
You know what? When I was young, I didn't drink because I watched nothing but alcoholics all over my town, and I didn't want to be that because fuck that.
Yeah, my dad had a problem with alcohol. My mom as well.
My dad had a problem. He got sober.
Currently, I have a sister who has a fucking problem with it.
Alcohol's the fucking devil. I fucking hate booze. I really do, and I'm not against it 100%. But I'll say 98.6.
Answer me this. How many times have you ever smoked a whole bunch of weed and then fucking fell asleep and woke up and went, oh my God, I can't believe I fucking did that?
You ever shit your pants on marijuana?
No.
You ever shit your pants drunk?
No.
Okay, well, I knew a guy that did.
I did, as a bartender, have to carry a guy out of the bar who shit his pants.
How many? You get 5 guys together in a room and they smoke pot. The worst thing they're going to do is attack your fridge, eat your fucking Cheetos. Unfortunately, that's a stereotype, but Cheetos are really nice. They're good.
Fucking good.
Don't fucking lie.
I'm a Funyuns guy.
Funyuns are great, but I got no teeth. Sorry. They're hard to fucking mow down.
Touche. You know? Yep,
See, I own it. I figure, fuck it. I lost them all smoking crack and drinking Mountain Dew. I still drink Mountain Dew like a son of a bitch because got to give up one of the M's.
But at the same time, fucking, you can also tell somebody all the reasons you shouldn't fucking smoke crack and shit.
That's I call it crack. I mean, I only probably smoked crack a few times in life. I have a story about Colorado. I mean, it's mostly meth.
Crank. I never did crack. My girlfriend that I'm with, she had a period of time where she smoked some crack.
Crack's a vicious motherfucker.
Regularly.
Cocaine's the devil. Cocaine's good.
The thing about crack is, it's fucking. Everybody says it's really good, but it only lasts like 5 fucking minutes. Dude.
It does,
and then it does, and then you got to smoke more. And you smoke up all that crack real fucking fast.
If you ain't got big people money, you ain't doing. Nope. And you sucking dick for the crack.
Yeah.
And I don't like sucking dick, even with no teeth.
Nah, she knew a guy that fucking was friends with the plug, so luckily she didn't have to suck dick for the crack. Woo! It'd be a whole different story.
Well, that's a new show. They usually don't put
I wouldn't really hold it against. It was before she met me. Hey, I can't really fucking say shit.
That's what I always say. And I've known a lot of people, and most of them still live around me. And we all did a lot of things when we were young, dumb, and stupid. And I don't hold any of that against you people. So why do you guys keep holding everything against me?
Yeah, well, the thing is fucking you've built up a reputation as this one person. And like the town I live in, I will forever be a piece of shit in the town where I live. I'll never have a good social standing or be accepted by 90% of the people that fucking live there because they just don't fucking like me because I have a bad reputation. I'm not going to lie. I earned it, but I earned that bad reputation through a lack of an ability to get help for the mental illnesses I had. It's still not socially acceptable to go to fucking therapy and shit. People in the town where I live won't fucking accept you. If you fucking admit to going to therapy, boom, half the fucking town won't even fucking let you in their conversations, man.
Just because somebody has a mental disability, it doesn't make them a danger to society.
Yeah.
You know, I'm crazy as fuck, but I'm the happy crazy.
Well,
you know what I'm saying?
I had to admit to myself that I had these disabilities in order to fucking get help and not be a complete piece of shit. But the thing is the time that I spent doing what guys in the area would call, quote unquote, being a man and just shoving it down and not dealing with it. Throughout that, I used fucking excessive amounts of drugs and alcohol and stuff and caused irreparable damage to my brain where now I'm not able to even work a regular job because I can't guarantee my behavior, I suppose, which is why I do shit like this where it's recorded, and if I fucking freak out or something, I can edit and delete as I feel fit. You know, I'm never stuck. So that's why this works, but this doesn't fucking pay anything either. Also why our shout outs are gonna, our shout outs, if you haven't noticed, have gotten a little bit smaller and stuff too, because I can't waste the first fucking 10 minutes on the show, which is all that most people watch, really. I can't waste that shouting out people who haven't really done anything. They're just people that I personally prefer or that I think are doing something cool. But I can't spend all that time. So anybody looking back on this LaMelo, it is going to land in 4th place, knocking down the Dakota Cookies to 5th and the Lemon OG Do-Si-Do to 6th. But it is going to be right behind the Lemon V from Belushi Farms.
I'd like to pipe up, but I haven't smoked any of them yet.
Yeah, I know. That's
Belushi, none of the Belushis. I'm hoping they get some in soon there. I mean, I could travel and get it, but I'd rather help out the locals. I'm all about helping out the local people. It's like I said, I come from
in order to be sold here, it has to be grown in South Dakota. So while these strains were perfected in Oregon, the weed that we smoke here has to be grown in South Dakota. So while, these are strains that were perfected in a different state, but aren't all the fucking strains that we're currently working with?
I was going to say,
for the most part, didn't they initially come?
I don't think anybody walked outside and picked a seed.
Yeah. So wouldn't it all? So that makes them qualify for the list. I know how people feel about big corporations and stuff getting into the field, but don't you want to know how our marijuana rates against everybody else's? And Belushi Farms, by the way, is not number 1. They are number 3. There are 2 local marijuana strains above that. So while Belushi Farms is in the mix, and as far as I'm concerned, the best lemon weed out there, I know it hurts to hear me say that, but what I think is, it's still not number 1. So it's grown in South Dakota, so it has to be in the rankings. I can't snub it. And plus, if it wasn't for Belushi and his farm, I wouldn't be doing this fucking podcast in the first place. So hate it or love it, I'm keeping it on here. And if I do another strain, I'm keeping that on here too. Because I'm going to be honest on this show, love it or hate it, agree or disagree. You're not going to agree with me all the time. You're not going to disagree with me all the time. But I'm going to be fucking honest every time I'm on this show. So that LaMelo is at a 4. Lemon V is at a 3. They are separated by 0.25 in fucking difference. It's just the bigger hit. The bigger hit on the lemon from the Belushi Farms. LaMelo's smooth as eggs, too. You did it right there. It's smooth. You can smoke LaMelo all day.
You could.
I mean, it's very easily an all-day smoke. It's not anything to be like, man, I'm not going to fuck with that because of this. If you go into a place and it doesn't have the Lemon V, hit up that fucking LaMelo 100%. You're not going to be disappointed in seeking lemon taste or smoothness or anything. You're not going to be disappointed.
And it's definitely something you can work with. You know what I mean? And I'm not down and out from it. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, 100%. That's why it's a fucking sunrise. Nice sunrise smoke. I would definitely buy it again, but if I had the option, also, if you're comparing price, Lemon V does come at $40 while LaMelo comes at $45. and that's at the Tea Tree. So I would assume it's at least 52 at other dispensaries, or somewhere around $50
about the going rate
at other dispensaries, which I personally don't enjoy spending more than $40 on an eighth of weed, dude. I don't care how good it is. More than $40 on an eighth of weed does not make me a happy guy, because I know that there are too many choices and too much great stuff out there to be settling.
Well, and just I'm big on the everybody else can go out and use their insurance on their medication.
Yeah.
What we pay to medicate ourselves is a bit out there. Like,
well, yeah, but when you're starting out, up and coming, I know $40 is not what you would pay street value for an eighth, but you have to pay the higher prices initially to get the whole thing up and running.
No, I agree. I agree.
I mean, and people, are going to complain about the prices, and a lot of people aren't going to jump on board right away, but that's just negative thinking, and that's just it's anti-progress really on the whole thing. Not anti-progressive, don't fucking get me wrong. I'm not talking about that horse shit. But anti-progress as far as getting multiple places up and going, cheaper weed available. Dude, the price for concentrates everybody hates, but has already come down $10 at Superior Buds. That's just one place. The price for concentrates come down $10 a gram already, and it hasn't even been it's only been a year. Yeah, it
took Colorado 4 or 5 years before they were even. Yeah, they were the same way.
Everybody wants to compare Colorado now to South Dakota now, and that's not fucking fair, dude.
No, it's not at all.
No. Dude, if you want to comment and tell me to crap on somebody, save your comment, okay? I'm not going to come out and crap on somebody for you. If you want to comment and crap on somebody, you go right ahead, but I am not a tool to be used, okay? My opinions are my own. So, because I had people trying to compare, like, South Dakota strains of things with, like, back in Colorado, years ago, I had this strain, and it was done. And it's like...
That's like comparing your wife to your ex-girlfriend.
I don't know if it's that, but it's not fair, because these are South Dakota growers trying to perfect the strains themselves. The strains aren't perfected. They're nice strains, yes, but it's not a perfected strain. And people are trying to say, like, mislabeling and all this other shit. I'm not getting involved in any of that stuff.
No, anybody that
buy the bag and go get it genetically tested and fucking find out it's a different strain, and then come at me with the papers and tell me they're lying about what this is. Other than that, I don't care about he said, she said stuff. I can't get caught up in that nonsense. It's gonna ruin the integrity of the show. Like, this show has to have integrity, even though I'm just, some pothead fucking doesn't know his ass from a hole in the ground. It's still, my opinions are, if you follow the show and you like it, my opinions are mine 100%. I'm not influenced by other people and what they think or say about strains or companies or anything like that. If you haven't had the Super Boof or the Tampico, I think it is.
I like the Tampicos.
I like those carts. If you haven't had those carts from what is it? Sodak Select?
I say that's what it's called, yeah.
Yeah, if you haven't had those cards, they're selling out fast. Super Boof especially. Everybody's tearing through that Super Boof, dude. If you're looking for a garlicky, fucking tasty smoke, that Super Boof packs flavor, dude. It's the first ever weed we had on. It's not in the top 10 for buds, I don't think. I don't think Super Boof is in there, but it was one of the first ever ones that I would fucking cook with. Like, not only, I'm going to throw this in brownies to get high, but I would add that to, like, pasta, like, sauce and shit for flavor.
Well, and that's
deep in hops and garlic, dude. Very good.
It's soft. I forgot what I was going to say.
Dude, I do it fucking twice every show. I'm amongst fucking friends.
There was something coming out and then it just left.
That's all right. But how long until you find out with this case whether you're fucked or not?
I would tell you they've only got about 4 more days.
Nice. So by the time this comes out, it'll come out Wednesday.
So I believe, if I'm correct, by Thursday something has to happen.
So
we're pushing a lot of dates that are pushing a lot of civil liberties that are. If I was a criminal, I'd stand up and say it, and you could put me in fucking prison.
Yeah,
I'm not.
Well, when you're caught, you're caught. I know, having been, formerly a legal drug user and just a general fucking partier, always in the wrong place all fucking time. Just as that kind of person, I mean, when you're caught, you're caught. Yeah, when you're caught, you're like, fucking, yeah.
I walked outside and turned myself in. You know what I mean? Yeah. It's what are you going to do? Yeah, you want to play the game, then we'll play the game, I guess, and that's how you do it.
That's why you didn't admit. Like me, when I'm caught fucking doing it, and you're caught, you just go and you're like, yeah, and you cooperate. You don't fucking snitch, but you cooperate, and you fucking do whatever you have to do. You don't give the cop, especially like the guys that get cuffed to the bench in the fucking police station and are talking shit the whole time and fucking why? What are you doing? Who are you fucking proving shit to?
Have you ever watched Cops?
Yeah.
You know the chair?
Yeah.
They had me strapped in it for 2.5 days.
Yeah. What are you benefiting?
2.5 days they had me in that motherfucker.
But is it because you're schizophrenic or?
Because they put me on medication I shouldn't have been on.
Exactly.
And I had a schizophrenic outbreak.
Yeah.
And nobody would listen or understand because you're just a drug addict.
Didn't they give you the fucking shit twice, 2 separate occasions?
Multiple. They made me take it 3 times a day, and I was in there for a week.
Oh, Jesus, fuck. So you got to have a whole schizophrenic adventure for a week.
Yeah. I sat in a drunk tank having a mental fucking break of reality.
Just a mental strain on you as somebody who not only has problems with schizophrenia, but drugs in general. To spend a week essentially unmedicated with the medication that works, that with your medication, not
my
chosen,
medication of choice.
But, well, not only that, but it's the one that works.
You're right.
It keeps you from doing meth, from relapsing, from having fucking issues, which anybody who's ever been a drug addict knows that doesn't go away.
And that's the most important thing is
your sobriety.
My sobriety.
Yeah. And I know it's fucking people hear somebody say sobriety who smokes marijuana and they go, yeah, fucking right, pothead. Okay, take your uneducated ass out of the conversation, please.
Pretty much.
You don't fucking call your fucking grandma a drug addict for taking her pain pills or anything like that, do you?
And they're 10 times worse.
Yeah, but it's same medical level, only I'm not destroying my liver smoking weed. And your grandma is fucking causing irreparable damage to her liver. And my mom was prescribed hydrocodone for fucking years. And
for 15 years, I ate 10 milligram hydrocodones every day. Every day for 10 years.
I used to snort them.
I snorted them too.
Yeah.
You break them up 2 at a time, snip them bitches, 1 on each side. I was a drug addict. I'm not out here trying to pretend like
That's
I wasn't.
How I started my day.
Yeah.
It's literally, the reason I got into opiates and pills really bad is because it put me in a better mood. I was 100% nicer to everybody around me. I was fucking the most considerate. I had all the time in the world to listen. And just because I was fucking floating. My
body is not like a normal person. And maybe it's all the drugs I did do as a young age. Maybe it's genetics. I don't know. All I know is my entire life I was different. I felt different. I've always been different. And when I took opiates, they made me...
How early in your life did you suffer head trauma?
I don't know. I was in a car accident when I was 22 years old. I was driving down the road with a female. I don't really know what happened, but I do know it's the first time I ever figured out that time slows down because I woke up. I didn't have my seatbelt on. It's also how I know that I'm meant to be in this world for something because I should be dead.
Yeah.
I've
OD'd and fucking purposely OD'd.
Well, she was sober driving and fell asleep, veered off, overcorrected. We rolled down the interstate 9 times.
I got a buddy in a wheelchair from the same shit.
I had a hat.
You're fucking lucky, bro.
I had a hat that had the yellow mark on the road, right? That's where my head skipped off.
Shout out Wheels, by the way.
And I don't know, maybe I have no idea. All I know is you don't do drugs to become a drug addict. You do drugs to hide from trauma and pain you're trying to run away from in your life because you're hiding from a reality you don't want to live.
When did you become a drug addict? When did you get
14.
into... Okay.
One of my good friends' brothers were in a terrible accident. A bunch of people died in our town in a car accident. He was a good friend of mine.
Large amount of trauma.
No,
because since you have a dick, nobody cares how it made you feel.
Yeah, I don't have feelings. You know that.
Yeah, you just shut the fuck up and push forward.
And his wonderful uncle had some weed, and because I knew weed helped me, I wanted some, but like you said, it was a crime because God forbid I medicate myself on something that God gave me. It has to come from the FDA.
I found it on accident, just trying to stop the hate in my head.
Unfortunately, the weed was good for me. The way to get it was not, because it required going to a meth addict's house who was 40-some years old and thought it was okay to introduce a 14-year-old to meth. I couldn't fathom doing that to somebody. I would never sell drugs to kids. Fucking stupid.
It was a guy, he was in his 30s and he was going back for his second prison stint, and he wanted to party for a week and didn't have nobody else. So he asked me if I wanted to.
Crazy.
And that's how I started doing meth.
And I can't imagine. I would never, I was a fucking hardcore drug addict, and I never involved kids, children. Like, what I wanted to do was me.
The kind of guy, I just want to smoke weed, man. Fuck everything else. Da, da, da.
That's how I was.
But then fucking one bad summer.
Yep.
One bad summer, everything comes together, and fucking before you know it, I know it, I'm waking up fucking in a jail cell, fucking.
Been there.
But luckily it was in Mitchell, and I was charged with possession by ingestion.
That's a wonderful charge. Only South Dakota has that. Did you know that?
I was charged with that for meth, possession by ingestion. And instead of charging me with that, which is a felony, by the way, just having done meth is a felony. Instead of charging me with that, they had me plead guilty to my second charge of possession of marijuana, because they thought that I was going to get caught, of course, with marijuana again very soon, and that would be third strike on marijuana, and then I go to prison for a year.
And
then I'm in the system, and that's it.
That's what their whole thing with all this was. They tried it's in a school zone. Which I currently grow marijuana in a school zone, 800 blocks from a park, with a sheriff that lives next door and a hypo right across the street.
Yeah.
I know the law. I follow the law. I've followed the law.
Well, anybody out there who's fucking growing and not following the law, you're putting that's on you.
Yeah.
I'm not here to advocate. Well, we should be able to grow however much we want, one step at a time. Get it legalized. Get it fucking moving in that direction. Fucking become a caretaker for a whole bunch of people. Whatever the fuck you got to do to grow the amount of plants you want to. But after a certain amount, you're not growing because you care. You're growing because you want to sell it and make money. Okay. Fucking
if you have
a bag of dicks.
Commercial facility and you're trying to produce marijuana, that's a whole different story. But
even some people who have like a full fucking grow room, in one harvest, you're getting more weed than you can smoke in a fucking year.
I smoke 3 ounces every 2 weeks.
Yeah. But how much does a good plant produce in a harvest?
It depends. Depends on the strain. Depends on the, know what I mean?
Let's call it like an ounce.
So
is that fair? 1 ounce per plant?
It depends again. You know what I mean? And you never really know. You don't know do you know how much corn you're going to get off each stalk of corn? No. You know what I mean? Could you look at a piece of corn and say...
But by strains that you've grown in the past, what's a producer and what's not.
Because I didn't grow marijuana in the past because it wasn't legal.
Just fucking eat dicks, dude. Every cultivator out there grew on the fucking black market beforehand, if not for fucking everybody privately. Just like everything else,
YouTube's great, and it'll teach you anything you want to know. If you wanted to learn how to build a meth lab, you could on YouTube.
Yeah, but cannabis is being harped on YouTube. It's being shit on.
That's what's being shit on in the world. It has been for a long time, I believe, since...
I've noticed that YouTube leaves you alone unless you smoke on camera. Smoking on camera tends to get you minimized and put in the little... where your video pops up as a little box in the corner.
Okay.
Instead of a full video. I've noticed that a lot of them, it's because they smoke on camera somewhere in the video, whether it's... But
I can strap a thong on and dance in a hot tub with my ding-a-ling flying around, and that's okay. Yeah. That's okay.
Yeah.
But God forbid you get on something and talk about a medicine. But if I wanted to sit here and talk about Percocet and tell you all the wonderful side effects of that, or all the side effects of your heart medication, you take this to not sneeze.
You're going to get dinged by Pfizer.
Yeah. Yeah. Somebody's going to come at me and be mean and want to say that I'm... And I don't give a fuck.
And they'll have more than enough money to make sure you shut the fuck up.
Well, maybe not.
Man,
I don't shut the fuck up.
Drug companies, they have enough money to make fucking people do whatever they want or pay somebody to make that person do that.
And at this,
if they wanted me to eat my own ass and I was like, no, fuck you. They have enough money to pay 3 large men to come fucking tear my head off and put my face to my ass.
I welcome every one of them assholes to come fuck with me.
You do.
I do.
Until they do,
no.
And then your head's in your butt.
Oh, well, I've already got my head in my butt right now. Everybody that could...
yes, but you're doing it metaphorically right now.
Man, no, I think physically.
To do it physically is a whole different story.
No, I'm not really... At this point in life, I'm not afraid of much, and I'm not afraid to say what I need to say, and I'm not afraid to be who I am.
I'm not so much like afraid of... Pfizer or somebody coming to get me, but I'm smart enough to know that they have enough money to legally or illegally make my fucking insignificant ass not exist no more.
I grew up poor, so everybody in my entire life had more money than me and could do anything they wanted. You know what I'm saying?
Well, yeah, but I'm saying like they could,
you can't
hire. There are professional people out there that make people disappear, and they could easily do that.
If that's
not that they have. I'm just saying they could potentially with the amount of money that they make and stuff. It's conceivable, theoretically, that they could do that. Not that they ever have. Allegedly.
These are the same people that made a drug and then told us it was terrible. But then, hey, hold on, we've got the cure for that. And then, oh shit! After that, now we're gonna give you a couple of more dabs.
You're talking billions of dollars.
Yeah, that's all right. We don't exist.
Human significance or interaction at a personal level, or even at a fucking these people deserve to live level, is out the window. No. Billions of dollars.
I've been a number for a long time.
I mean, you have probably a higher percentage of people out there would murder their own mother for $1 billion than wouldn't.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, and that's
$1 billion is an unfathomable amount of money.
You're talking about generational wealth.
You're talking about far more than like billions. That's a I mean, you take $1 million.
Billion is $1 million.
Yeah, that's a million's a fucking big number.
Yeah,
like it's crazy to like actually fathom it. You take 1 million stars and 1 billion stars. That's a fucking big different picture.
Yeah,
it's crazy, and I still wouldn't. I'd shit on every star. I don't care because I feel like that's what someone needs to do right now is be the voice.
My mom's had a pretty good life, dude. She's really, she's fixing to retire soon anyway. She ain't gonna have shit to do. Fucking $1 billion, billion with a B. Fucking, and all I have to do is feel like a piece of shit for the rest of my life. Everybody else can feel fine.
I spent 41 years doing
everybody else gets the get out of guilt free card of going, that son of a bitch did it. Count that fucking money. Everybody else gets that. So everybody else in my life gets everything they could ever dream of. And all I have to do is sacrifice my mental well-being for the rest of my life. That's trashed anyways, son.
And that's what I feel like my life story's been.
Yeah.
Because as long as I put aside the fact that I needed my medication, I conform to your rules.
How many times I've fucking taken myself off of my medications and shit like that just to fuck up.
To conform with society, only to be a worse and shittier version.
Yeah, just to fuck up and end up in a facility. Like, bro, if I touch meth, I go off the fucking rails.
Dude, meth will make you grab your grandmother's titty.
Yes, but I'm not your typical meth user where like I can do meth and hang out and fucking, with the group.
I don't think any of those do that.
And
we just think they do sometimes.
Methy things. No, I've seen people who do meth just hang out and like take shit apart and fucking...
But were they doing a lot of meth?
Yeah, these are lifelong fucking doing...
Needlers? Darting? Were they darting?
Not some... Well, they did have family members that darted who also were...
See, I never darted.
The same level of batshit crazy. I did the last time I tried to kill myself.
If you could snip it or snort it or smoke it, I did it. But that was the one golden rule I followed. You don't break the barrier.
I always had that goal, but I've always been suicidal. Now, check this, okay? I solved the puzzle. You can't kill yourself because you have kids and they're going to fucking feel bad. But if you overdose on drugs...
It wasn't your fault.
You were just a fucking drug addict. It was you're just a shitty person, but they don't have to take that I was such a piece of shit. He killed himself.
It's not their fault. It's your fault.
No, yeah, it's your fault.
You were always a pile of shit.
So I thought,
how many people were banking on me wishing I'd die right now?
I thought, take a bottle of lorazepam.
Ooh, the Xanny,
and fucking shoot up. And so I didn't know how to shoot up. So I went on Tinder, and while I was at work at my job, I had already decided I was going to kill myself. So while I was at work at my job, everybody thinks I'm just the happiest I've ever been. And it's a Friday. And I spend that Friday at work getting a hold of a girl in Yankton because I knew there's a lot of fucking dope in Yankton.
Oh, tons.
So I started hitting up girls up there. I got a hold of a native chick. Unfortunately, it's a huge issue amongst natives, especially.
It's not a stereotype if it's true.
Well, and it's not because they're native. It's because they're fucking poor.
And it's because we take advantage of the system.
Well, and fucking I have, they don't. They're not so. There are people who are fucking racist. Let's just fucking get that out there. There's racist as shit
100%.
motherfuckers, but there's also a large group of people who are prejudiced against anybody who they deem as poor.
Oh yeah,
or
there's poor is a racist status.
A non-contributor to society. And natives, due to reservations, lack of opportunities, etc. I mean, just historically, I'm not saying probably today. You probably have a lot of. I don't fucking know. You probably have opportunities to fucking get out if you mind all your P's and Q's and walk this fucking straight line or some shit. You know,
if we all fall into the matrix, we would have been all right.
If you obey, do everything right, of course anybody can make it out of any situation. But I'm just saying that statistically, especially in South Dakota, they're amongst some of the poorest people. So they experience this shit, and unfortunately meth is a big part of being poor because it's fucking cheap and it lasts a long time.
It's a long high for $20. $20, you can be high for 3 days. I've done every drug known to man. There ain't another drug out there that I can do and be high for 3 days.
Nope.
It's not a fathomable thing.
So I found a girl and I took her out. We went. She fucking wanted to buy some dope. I was like, fuck yeah. Bought some dope like it wasn't no thing. Fucking just gave her money. Fucking went to the dude's house, got the dope. Went back to my house, fucking snorted a little bit because that's how I used to do it. But shit's so fucking gross nowadays.
Burns like a son of a bitch.
Well, back in the day it used to too, but our shit used to look like a broken fucking mirror in a bag, Like this shit nowadays, everything's powdered and stepped on and shit.
Everything's got fentanyl in it too.
Yeah, so I fucking, I told her, it was like, oh, the taste is gross. So fucking, she shot up. We had to fucking stop and buy needles at like Walgreens and shit. So she shot up and shit. And I was like, why don't you just fucking show me how to do that? And she's like, well, you do it like this. And I, of course, was like, well, I can't fucking do it. So why don't you do it? Because I just couldn't get myself to do it.
Yep. Yeah.
Because
that's how it always begins. Somebody always does it your first time.
Yeah. So I was like, you got to do it. And then fucking I just, the way I was at the time as far as like women was like, fucking do what I say. So like, do what I say or fucking you can go. Most of the women I dealt with didn't have a place to stay. So fucking do what I say or you can fucking be homeless. Real piece of shit level stuff. But I was planning on killing myself. So I had her shoot me up. And we did that for a couple days until she fell asleep for the first time. Because, experienced crackheads know to crash out every few days.
Oh, yeah. Otherwise,
to keep your brain from getting skitty.
The drug doesn't make you go crazy. It's the lack of sleep.
Yeah.
I stayed up for 37 days one time.
18's the most I made it. 30? I woke up driving in the wrong lane with a fucking old couples going, ah! And I thought it was the funniest fucking thing ever. That was when I was up for 18 days. That was the longest I ever made it because, well, I couldn't afford to stay up any longer than that most of the time. By the time I was that weird, nobody wanted to fuck with me.
No. Usually even the crackheads, when they see them that weird, they're like, motherfucker, it's time you take a break, go home.
Like, you need to get cut off.
Yep, you're done. I can't take any more of this. You clearly can't either.
Yeah, so fucking I wasn't that kind. So I waited for her to crash out, and then as soon as I knew she was sleeping, I started taking my lorazepam a couple at a time. One here, one there. Watching TV, mostly just crying. Watching fucking YouTube videos, listening to sad songs, or watching just crying because I was fucking broken.
Yep.
So I'm just taking all these pills, and then fucking as soon as she woke up in the morning, when the sun came up, I was like, fucking hit me. And fucking, so she hit me, and
lights out.
That was it. I drove to Nebraska. That was when all the flooding was going on. I drove through a National Guard roadblock, talked my way through to the National Guardsman, talked my way through, went to the reservation in Nebraska, met her whole family, her kids, her aunties, and, her mom.
Yeah, the whole
grandma.
The whole tribe.
I met fucking everybody. Don't remember a single person. Don't remember a single name. Don't remember a single conversation. Don't remember driving there or driving back. Any of that shit. And I, by the time I start to remember shit, I also ended up in a facility. And after my family left and was sure that I was stuck there, I talked my way out at 3:30 in the morning. I talked a guy into just signing me out. I'm good, bro. My family's just fucking weird. They're overprotective. I mean, look at me, dude. You're talking to me right now. I'm fucking straight. I'm good.
Yep.
I don't remember any of this. But I fucking talked my way out. That guy lost his job.
Jesus.
So, and I was out walking the streets at 3:30 in the fucking morning in Mitchell. And fucking, I called my mom like, bitch, I'm fucking walking home, bitch. You better fucking get ready. However long it takes to walk 30 miles, motherfucker, I'm coming. And she told me, she's like, if you ever want to see your fucking kids ever again in your fucking life, you will turn around and go back to that fucking facility. And I was like, fuck you. You ain't going to do that. And she goes, it's not me. She goes, the state already took your kids. You already do not have your children as of right this second because I was mentally
not capable of taking care of them.
Incapable. And so I turned around and I fucking had the hardest time walking back, dude. I had shadow people following me, fucking all kinds. I couldn't figure out where the fuck I was. Everything was dark. But I got back to the facility, got checked in, and I don't really remember anything until I was released out of the hospital. And we were on our way to Sioux Falls to behavioral health. And I remember like coming to as we're leaving the parking lot for the hospital. We're leaving the one part, and I fucking was like I'd been awake and shit, but I just kind of like was there now.
You're coming back to reality.
Yeah, and I looked around and I was like, why is everybody so fucking mad, dude? And my mom had to like put her hand back and stop my sister
from punching you in the fucking head,
literally like beating the fuck out of me. And she's like, fuck you, dude. And my mom's like, what do you remember? And I'm like, sitting in my room, fucking eating pills, and then now. That's like, they were so fucking mad. And what made me stop doing this shit and stop with the poor me and the fucking, it wasn't just like people like Jocko Willink and fucking their books and shit like that. It wasn't just that stuff that made me stop being such a self-loathing fucking turd. But my mom said it was this, she's seen me overdose and shit before. She's seen me take so much fucking ketamine or whatever. Or no, it was Thorazine. Ooh. She saw me I took 1,300 milligrams of Thorazine, having never done it.
They gave that to me in Keystone, and they said it was supposed to knock me out. Well, I have the opposite effect with drugs a lot, and so it was like doing speed to me. I was awake for 4.5 days.
I had a buddy who had AIDS, who was HIV positive, so he had just a fucking cabinet of fucking meds, and he took that much. So that's what he gave me when I said, "Fuck, give me some." He gave me fucking 13 pills. And he was like, yeah, take that. And I took it, and I started to feel like weird. And I was like, dude, I got to go home.
I bet.
And I fucking went home, and I'm trying to make myself throw up. My mom's freaking out. What the fuck's wrong with you? And I'm in the bathroom trying to gag myself, but my fucking throat and everything has gone numb.
Yeah.
So I can't throw up. I can't get it out. I'm fucked. So fucking only option, I went and fucking, while I could still move, I went and I drank some water. I took a piss so I wouldn't piss on myself, and I fucking went and laid on the couch where I could see the TV and proceeded to go into a fully awake coma for 3 days, where I was fully awake and fully conscious,
just
but I
paralyzed.
Couldn't move, couldn't speak, couldn't.
Dude, Thorazine is some strong shit.
Couldn't acknowledge anything. So my mom has seen that before, this incident in the hospital. This was when I was still a teenager.
Yeah.
So she saw that, because I don't know, as long as I can remember, always wanted to just not be. So
it's a shitty feeling.
Yeah, and that's how I always felt, and nobody gave a fuck.
No.
Nobody cared.
No, you're just a crazy guy that.
Yeah, nobody cared. My stepdad didn't want anything to do with me because apparently when I was like 5 years old, I told him I was going to slit his throat in his sleep, and rather than seeing a damaged child, he took personal offense to that and was like, "Fuck you." You know, yeah. One of the last things he ever told me, my mom still puts this guy on a fucking pedestal. One of the last things he ever told me was that I'm a piece of shit, I'll never be anything, and there's no reason that I should ever have existed.
Nice.
And this is the grandfather to my kids, allegedly, whatever. So, I mean, that's the type of shit that, I went through with this guy. But just getting back to it, so in the hospital, she said that she saw me go, she'd always seen me fucked up, but I passed the fuck out. And when I wake up, I'm back,
Yep.
This was the first time ever for fucking like 3 days that I was in ICU. I don't know how long I was in there, honestly, but I assume 2-3 days. I was literally like, the things they stick on your chest. I was fucking eating them.
Things, yeah.
I was eating them because they were fucking flying Doritos and shit. I wouldn't drink water or anything. They had to put red food coloring in my water because I wouldn't drink anything unless I thought it was alcohol. They couldn't get me to drink nothing. My kids thought it was hilarious. I wouldn't eat the burger they brought me because I thought they poisoned it. All the shit I don't remember.
Yeah.
But
Dude, the brain's a fucking fucked up thing.
And my mom saw me fucking go to bed and she's like, okay, it's fucking over, and then wake up with me the next morning and I'm still not back. And so she had to go through like the realization of like, maybe I'm gone.
You might have done fucked up too much this time.
Yeah.
You might have fried it.
I might have done too much and I might never come back. And seeing her talk about that is fucking, that's, apart from my kids and shit. That's why I don't do that shit no more. Yeah. Sorry. Fucked me up a little bit. But yeah, that's fucking, I can't touch meth anymore. Ever.
No.
I go off the fucking, I forget who I am. I go off the fucking rails, dude. I can smoke weed all fucking day. Come here, do a podcast, fucking talk to people.
That's where I'm very
without weed, I would be at my house crying on my bed.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. Having mental outbreaks, having fucking breaks from reality, just not okay.
Stuck in the past.
Yeah.
Just reliving shit over and over again.
My brain has 40 fucking personalities up here. I live in a world that most people could never understand.
Yeah.
And I don't ask you to understand it. I just ask you to be okay with it. I'm okay with me. I don't give a fuck what you do. You want to cut off your dick? You want to be a chick? You want to be a man? You want to live in a can? I don't give a damn.
Just don't tell my kid that's what they have to do.
Exactly. And don't tell me what I can do and what I can and can't say to my own body.
Yeah.
I don't know.
What I have to call you to, if it's not he or she or hello person, whatever, like either come up with a new neutral fucking greeting that doesn't suck.
7 days ago, I officially identified as a Pop-Tart on the internet. And Pop-Tarts actually liked it.
Hold on. What flavor?
Strawberry.
Frosted or unfrosted?
Definitely frosted.
Okay. All right. We're all right. We're still amongst regular people.
Definitely frosted.
Okay. Fine. I'll accept it. I had one guy say fucking, or I saw a podcast. The dude said like cherry unfrosted was his favorite. And I'm like, that's an alien. That's fucking, he's wearing a skin suit. Get him.
That's like people that eat weed.
And it wasn't because of any like medical thing or because he was trying to stay fit. It was personal flavor preference.
Cherry nasty.
Cherry's fine. Frosted.
No, I don't like cherries.
I don't give a fuck. You can prefer cherries though, frosted. But to prefer an unfrosted Pop-Tart and not be an 80-year-old man is fucking weird.
Some of them flavors they got from them fucking Pop-Tarts are a little out there too. Like,
I don't want to hate, but a little weird. And as far as we're not going to get to do the Thug Rose together, but I've been smoking the Thug Rose quite a bit this week. Dakota Green, by the way.
I have smoked that one. That one is a nice smoke too.
Dakota Green's one?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's you grind it up and it smells like candy, kind of. Like just
it did have a very nice aroma to it.
I felt like it had a cherry smell to it. So It did have that. I know your hatred for cherries, but it did have a cherry smell to it. And I actually think it might be in somebody. DNS is coming out with something. Oh, they're coming out with their thing. I talked about it earlier. That also has Thug Rose in it. But this Thug Rose, it didn't hit me so much with the flavor is the thing. It had if the flavor was as powerful as the smell, this thing would be a top 3 all day. No problem. But the taste wasn't as thick as the smell was for me. Far as where I'm going to put it on the list, fuck. It had a good smell. The taste wasn't there as much. So it's going to have to go, I'm saying it's going to have to go down to like, it's probably, unfortunately, Dakota Green is probably going to be a 10 on here, right underneath Mad Honey and Roast Mellow. Because Mad Honey had fucking crazy honey flavor from Pure Bliss.
That was good.
And fucking Roast Mellow was a fucking monster.
I don't think I've had that one.
I can't remember who fucking did Roast Mellow. It'll have to be in our record somewhere. God, I can't remember who did Roast Mellow. Shit. Because Roast Mellow was a good one. It tasted like roasted marshmallows. And right above that is the Bahama Berry from fucking Cannonauts. So that's where we get into like real big leagues right there. Because that Bahama Berry was nothing to be fucked with, dude. That was very good. Above that's the Lemon OG, Dakota Cookies, LaMelo, Lemon V, Flapjacks, and fucking Strawberry Twizzlers. I was shooting for the French toast today, and I know that's a lot of D&G on the show, but just there's certain like staples that I hear people talk about, I hear people mention, and if I haven't tried it, I feel like, and having tried the fucking Lemon V and not done the LaMelo was almost criminal. So, yeah, I'm going to have fucking the Dakota Green is going to debut at number 10, knocking Hooligan off of there. Hooligan from Cannonaught, which Hooligan, it wasn't so much about the flavor as it was about the smoothness of the smoke. That was one of the first real ones where I got into how smooth some of the smoke was. We were getting out of like shittier strains into better, smoother, more flavorful flower stuff. So I think dude, as far as I would wish you good luck on the court case and stuff, but I'm pretty sure you got that shit handled easily. Like, I'm not worried about you at all. I feel like best scenario for them, apologize, do whatever you got to do to make it right in whatever eyes you see fit of making it right. I know a lot of people say money can't pay for, violated civil liberties or whatever. It's fucking do whatever you got to do, make it right. Because you can only do so much before it's like, well, that's personal. That's how you choose to feel and can't make you feel any better. So as the police department, do what you got to do, make it right. You definitely admit that you made a mistake. Hey, it was a play. It was a play that gets you a guy fucking 9 times out of 10. We'll get you a guy, because a lot of us drug addicts, if we're nothing if not predictable. You always fall back to the monster, but some of us get out through either what happened to me or what caused you to get out. Like,
I got arrested in my driveway. My children and my parents both watched me get beaten by a cop. I got my wrist snapped.
You got to watch them through the window watching you.
Yeah, what little bit I remember, because like you said, in those psychotic moments, what do you remember?
The flash images.
Yeah. And
that's as good as a photograph.
I get the lifetime of I know what I disappointed in my kids that day.
Well, that and there's trauma. That's you introduce trauma into their life. You can't ever take that away.
No, and I know
I've done that too to my kids through fucking overdoses and shit like that. They've seen shit kids shouldn't have to see.
Like you said, it's until you decide, you won't decide. And,
exactly.
And I spent a week and a half.
Not that I didn't want to be a better guy. It was stupid things like, I can handle it. Stupid shit.
I'm functional.
Yeah.
And you could.
I know fucking so-and-so. He does fucking dope. He's got a full-time job. He's doing everything. I can just do what he does.
I know about 87, functioning meth addicts that you'd never even know that are very high, well-paid people.
Oh, yeah, because they're hard-working motherfuckers.
Fucking right they are. They'll work like a son of a bitch.
Yeah.
But eventually everybody succumbs at some point. You know, I was a functioning drug addict for 26 years.
If you don't succumb like to the drug, your body will.
Yeah, one or the other is going to happen. You're going to die or you're going to give up.
Your heart will start to fuck up and give out and shit. And because I've seen that, or you'll start, if you're a person who shoots up, you'll start to run out of spots and you'll start to you'll start to miss.
Oh, I watched the guy shoot up in his dick once. Like, called me over to his house. I walk in, he's in his bathtub shooting up in his dick.
If I had an option, if I had to do it by myself, that's where I'd shoot up. That's where I got the biggest vein.
Nobody gonna notice either. Nobody sees that.
Yep.
Or in between your toes. Like
I had a friend in high school who shot up between her toes. Nobody knew that she did shit.
And a lot of these chicks booty bump it, and I'm not doing drugs if I stick it up my ass.
Yeah, you're bypassing all things that filter drugs.
Yeah.
That filter things out.
Yep.
Yeah.
Just straight to the M brain.
Straight to the blood. Yeah. Just what? Yeah. So, dude. So that's getting arrested. That whole traumatic thing made you go fucking no more, dude.
That's I realized that I had probably run out of.
What's next? You know, the next step above that is they come out and find you dead.
Pretty much.
Yeah. Next step is they come out in the driveway.
Like you said, right before
you're laying outside your car, fucking, powder on your fucking nose or fucking. Marks
they probably saved my life that day because I probably was on the road to being dead. Like I said, I mean, you heard what we were talking about earlier.
So at the same time, well, like this, it's an episode where it's like, the cops did fucked up shit that they shouldn't have done, violated rights, just off of predicted behavior, which is wrong. It's called profiling. It's fucking wrong. Can't do that shit. But at the same time, if they hadn't arrested you when they did, the way they did, how they did it, you might not fucking be here to bitch about anything.
No. And that's where I'm not against all of them. There's just a select few that won't get over the past.
Yeah, which basically what you're asking for is just to be left alone. Yeah, I understand. I understand you guys all see me this way, but understand now that I'm not that guy. You no longer have to worry about him. He's fucking gone. I'm doing a whole different thing now. Whole different guy, really. When you stop doing, hard drugs and shit.
Oh, it's a different world.
Yeah.
It's a different world.
You become a whole different person.
And especially when you stop on your own accord. When you stop because you wanted to stop, not because the court made you stop, not because your wife made you stop, not because somebody come over and said, we found you fucked up or you almost died.
I had multiple drug overdoses, dude. And I didn't give a fuck.
No, fuck, you're a drug addict.
I'd
what do you care?
Wake up the next day and be like, fucking almost.
You know what I excelled at? You know what I excelled at? Fucking up. For 26 years, dude. I was a professional fuck up.
Got fucking PhD and fucking up,
and fucking up. But I still lived a mediocrely normal life where people, and that's the thing is a lot of the people out here calling me all this bad shit, you was right along on that ride with me. You was there. You saw the downfall. You saw the fucking epic fucking fail of Cooper for 26 fucking years. When did one of you great friends of mine
pull the brakes
and say, hey, maybe you shouldn't be shoving 8 grams of coke up your fucking nose a day. Maybe you shouldn't do 2 8 balls of meth tomorrow. Maybe you shouldn't take 6 bottles of pills this afternoon.
I had that same issue with a friend of mine recently, not on drugs or anything. Just I saw a friend of mine starting to act like not himself, start to act like somebody he's not and start to get out of pocket and just not be himself. And And I tried to check him and fucking, he just cut me out immediately. And we're talking years of friendship, dude.
That's your, there's your sign.
Bam, cut out like I fucking wasn't shit, dude. And that's just, think what you want to think. Some people only give a shit as long as you're beneficial.
That was the hardest thing to learn when I left the drug world. Was a lot of them people ain't your friends, and a lot of them people
can't get dope or do dope around you. They have no use for you.
If you won't benefit their high, you're not important to them.
Yeah, because they spend all day trying to get high,
and that's
all fucking I did.
It's crazy how much time you have in the day when you don't do drugs. When you were used to doing drugs for so long,
you'd fucking kill hours chasing a rock. Dude.
I drove around for days sometimes.
Oh, I got it here. Oh, I'm over at so and so's. Oh, I'm not there anymore. I'm over here. Oh, I heard so and so has some fucking. Why don't you get a hold of this? And you're fucking. Before you know it, you're 9 hours deep chasing a fucking rock, dude.
For a 4-hour high.
You ain't stopping.
Nah, hell no. And you're gonna do it tomorrow too. You're gonna get up tomorrow bright and fucking early because you didn't sleep, and you're going to do the same goddamn thing.
Bright and early, my ass. You're going to be fucking bothering people at 2, 3 o'clock in the fucking morning.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, what's up? You got something? Let me get something.
Hey, man, I got $15. Come on.
I got this fucking...
The worst was when you had money and couldn't find it.
Cash in the morning. I got to check in cash in the morning.
You can hold my ID.
Yeah. Hold my ID. I've done that. I've
take my wallet. I don't give a fuck. You need a computer? I got a cell phone. What do you want? I'll sell you my mom's teeth.
I luckily wasn't that bad in that mindset while I had kids, but the mother of one of my kids was, and I don't buy my son... That I have a son that doesn't live with me on top of the 7 kids that I have. I have a son that doesn't live with me. He lives with his mom. And I don't buy him Christmas presents and shit because for like years, he lived with me for over a year. And in that time, I found out, hey, when mom has her relapses and mom goes back to doing dope because she also has a problem with it, not shitting on her, whatever, it is what it is. Fucking struggling just like fucking we struggled. You can't shit on somebody while they're going through that. No. You can fucking shit on people all you want. You can shit on the drug all you want. You can't shit on the people. Because once the drug takes hold, it's not...
If you can find me one person that ever woke up and went, you know what, I aspire to be as a drug addict.
Yeah, I aspire to just do what meth tells me to do.
Or an alcoholic or whatever.
But she, unfortunately, has it way worse than I had it, Just
some people, it does, just like alcohol affects people different.
To shake it.
Some people... Meth is a strong and powerful fucking psychotropic drug. And... I, honest to God, it contribute part of my fucking mental instability to part of the reason why I was able to survive it when a lot of people aren't. Because I was already batshit crazy, so I've been running through this world raw dog and mental illness for fucking 41 years.
I had PTSD before I fucking could speak or was out of diapers.
Yeah, so you
when that incident you talked about earlier, maybe off camera, about the knife going through the door at the house and the big shotgun hole in the door. When that happened, that fucked me up for the rest of my life. That shotgun going off in the fucking house fucked me up for the rest of my life. Slamming doors, 50-50 shot on any of these that I either start to cry like a baby or fucking go absolutely apeshit, violent, fucking nuts. Slamming doors, guys yelling. If you were to fucking get super aggressive and yell, I might cower and fucking cry, or I might try to kill you. I have no idea what's.
See, mine was authority figures because I got touched by a teacher when I was little. Yeah. And so my entire life, the people that were supposed to protect me and keep me safe, and I never told nobody that shit for a long time, long fucking time.
Well,
who does? You're not gonna, especially
molested.
Back in.
I got molested when I was a kid too.
It fucks you up.
Turns out a friend of mine had a brother that was molesting him, and he ended up molesting me, and then inviting me over there, and then shit got worse. And then once you're, it's no bullshit. Once that happens to you as a kid or something, people can tell. People that molest kids can fucking tell.
Oh, I agree.
Other molesters are like, oh, you seem when I become inappropriate with you, you just completely,
you're more docile. You shut down.
Yeah, and it's like, oh, perfect. I can do whatever I want. Yeah. So that just fucking created a whole.
Yeah. And unfortunately, police fell into authority figures, and unfortunately, as a young kid, that was my mindset. Was you're the bad guy. I'm not doing anything wrong. You just don't like me.
I didn't think of him as the bad guy. Now, mind you, growing up, I always wanted to be a criminal. I thought that was going to be my career. I was going to just do crime. That was going to be my thing.
Yep.
But I didn't hate the cops. The reason I didn't like the cops is because they had been to my house. They had seen my parents. They had seen the fights. They'd seen everybody, all the damage, the bruises. They'd fucking seen all of it. And they fucking decided it wasn't any of their fucking business. It was to be handled. Oh, they can handle it personally.
That's a family problem.
They fucking abandoned me at a time when they're supposed to be the upholders of the law, the protectors of the weak, the ones who are there when fucking, nobody's there for you. And I fucking stood there with bruises on me and said, help me, and got fucking nothing.
And that's... If somebody would have offered me help in the beginning, maybe I wouldn't have made it.
If I had known that I could get help and not be a pussy.
Yeah.
If I had known that I could get some kind of mental help, but there's nothing you could have done in the town where I live. As soon as I got counseling and shit, I mean, it was.
Were you in the special kid class?
No, but I had to have a counselor come to I was in anger management 4 times before I was like 14. See, because I couldn't stop. I currently don't punch or break things, but I have dreams about punching and breaking shit. I have dreams about getting pissed and putting a hole in the wall. I have dreams about fucking slamming my fists on the counter.
That's how my buddy is. The one I take care of. He's
fucking like anger is in me.
It's embedded in your soul, and you can keep it at bay, but you're never getting rid of that fire.
It's always there. Yeah, it's always there. I feel like a monster fucking lives inside of me. Yeah. So
and that's where my brain took that trauma, and I learned to add new personalities. So I have multiple personalities.
If I would have had male guidance when I was younger. If I would have had a fucking guy around who could tell me, because like I said, my dad was in prison. No matter how bad he wanted to be there for me, he didn't have a fucking choice. And mind you, he was dealing with his own goddamn laundry list of problems. But I had a stepdad right there. But he didn't want me. He just wanted my mom. So fucking, if I would have had somebody
who gave a shit
directing that fucking anger into something else. Besides just telling me I'm a piece of shit and beating the fuck out of me all the time, which is exactly what I thought anyways. And then I had the mentality of, hey, when I come home, I'm catching a whooping, whether I did something or not. If he's drunk and she mouths off, I'm the one getting smacked. So fucking, yeah. So I did whatever the fuck I wanted. There's no punishment. What are you going to do to me? What are you going to do to me that a grown man beating the fuck out of me can't do? Oh, you're going to fucking lock me up? You're going to take me away? Somebody my age going to fucking beat me up or fight me? Fucking what are you going to do? You got nothing.
You were never going to put me in a prison worse than my own mind.
No, yeah. Yeah, there's nothing you couldn't... Like, I heard a comedian say this the other day. There's nothing you can't say to me that I haven't fucking said 6 inches away from the mirror. Not a fucking thing.
I joke all the time. I got fucking no teeth, little dick, but I got a bunch of personality and a whole lot of attitude because fuck it. I'm not going to let anybody other motherfuckers come at me, and I'm going to take away every insecurity I got because what are you going to hurt me with? I was a drug addict. I got no teeth. Sometimes I say inappropriate things. Sometimes I'm an asshole. Sometimes you might not like me.
And you know, this is going to piss some people off, but thank you, Eminem and 8 Mile, for teaching a whole group of fucking kids that I knew that kind of shit, where fucking fuck all of the things that are wrong with me. You can't say anything that I haven't already acknowledged. So fuck you. Shit on me if you want, but you're no fun. And fucking that's the vibe we had when I was younger. Yeah. And that's, you know, unfortunately where I hung out at, they came from a fucking movie. So like, but it fucking worked, you know, whatever works. Fuck, I think this is the single longest podcast I have ever done, and I feel like there's a laundry list of shit we could still get into, dude.
I'm sure we could talk for days about conspiracy theories.
Yeah, everybody. Fucking don't forget. Yeah, if you want conspiracy theories, let us know, dude. We'll do a whole fucking giant show on that shit. I have nothing but time. Everyone knows that. So, I mean, yeah, I have all these kids, but we have a routine. You don't think a guy has this many kids and doesn't have a system, okay? I am a complete disastrous fuck up, but my kids are all extremely talented and intelligent and somehow figuring shit out.
Highly agree.
Yeah, so fucking, I am not a representation of how they will be. Court case. I don't know, man. That's up in the fucking air, dude. That's we'll find out the day after this comes out. Keep your eyes on the fucking news, bro. You'll find out what's going on, and this is a big deal for marijuana, just the whole industry in South Dakota right now. Because like you said, it's pretty fucking obvious that mistakes were made. And if you still catch some charges, even though it's pretty light shit, if you find a judge that still decides to charge you, it's going to show us that we don't really have rights.
Pretty much.
As South Dakota medical users.
Pretty much.
Do we have rights or not? You know?
Am I legally able to use my medication or am I not?
And when you mind all the P's and Q's and then have those rights violated, are there any consequences? Does anything happen to the people in charge who violate those rights? Yeah, I know a lot of you hardcore South Dakota people are thinking you're not watching the fucking show, but I know that you're thinking that we're just a bunch of stupid fucking stoners, good riddance, fucking they got what they deserve. But you're uneducated. You're uneducated fucking just... You're like brakes on a fucking train that you can't turn off. The whole train needs to keep fucking going because it's where intelligence and knowledge is driving us, and you asshats are holding onto the fucking train going, but Dad said... Fuck you. Fuck you. Fuck your family. No. But fuck you for sure. And if anything else I said on this show... or anything that Aaron said on this show, Mr. Cooper himself, Hanging with Mr. Cooper.
I'm trying to buy
a sweet fucking title, by the way.
Dude, I'm trying to buy that fucking. I'm trying to get that trademark. If there used to be a show,
yeah, I know. I'm old enough. I watched it.
I don't know if it's available, if you can get it yet, but if I can, I want to.
Yeah, I imagine somebody owns that and will sell it.
You think at this point, who watches that shit anymore?
Nobody. It's not even a rerun thing.
No, I've never even seen it.
It's not even a classic show.
No.
But if anything we said or anything we've talked about in this extremely long podcast, fucking thank you again. If anything that we've talked about or discussed has bothered you or offended you or made you feel some kind of way or insecure or... we didn't use the right pronouns, if that offended you, if we did any of that and it bothered you or ruined your day, remember, you can't be mad at us for what we said when we were smoking that ish. So fucking, we'll see you next time. Thank you.